What is a riot but a revolution without the prism of privilege? It is the voice of the oppressed expressed in fiery shouts of rage, because the only way we can get people to engage is to become exactly who they think we are, fulfilling a prophecy we never had about ourselves, playing into pre-written scripts that cites lack of intelligence and highlights our strength as a means to justify racist ends. That just because you see the muscles ripple in our back and the tendons gleam beneath our skin does not mean that there aren't thoughts processed by the computer held within. Beneath the fleshy folds of our frontal lobe lies a desire for freedom, a yearning to be more than just one thing. But the world has a way of crushing our ideas before we can dream, a way of silencing our voices before we ever get it into our head to scream, so that by the time we come out of the meek and docile act, there is no time left for outsiders to react, because what we recognize as the bleeding heart of pain is assumed to be a rebellion against what they cannot say. So I ask you, what is a riot but a guerrilla war waged against colonizers who specialize in Columbusing everything that was never lost they claim they found, stealing the sights, sounds, music, food, and even the way we sing our shoo-be-dooby-doos? What is a revolution? Is it not warfare to determine whether Darwin's theory of evolution still stands? Whether the survival of the fittest can be found in the best black, white, brown, or other kind of man? Is it not the reason Israel fought Egypt, Assyria, and Babylon? The reason God's children have no place in the world to belong? The reason Alexander the Great and Constantine were known as great invaders? The reason Britain, Portugal, France, and Spain were seen as great raiders, stealing natural resources that can never be replaced. 13 million souls strong, 13 million souls gone in a business that created race. They were known for discovering what was already there, laying claim to what already had a name, establishing superiority over a people who never knew inferiority. Then they wonder why bondage didn't fit, why against their dominance we resist, why their power we don't respect, and why in anything we do we say we the best. We don't need a revolution when we've already found a solution to end our tears at their expense, to stop our pain without false pretense, and to break free of social constructs that were never meant for us. But how do we resolve to evolve beyond ablution when we don't even have a stake in our own constitution? So what is the point of a revolution when through their eyes it will just be seen as another desperate cry for help, not connected to any other event, an apparent disparate moment that will soon be forgotten? I guess that's why we always have on reserve the evocative word to create and conjure images of destructive violence beyond the rapture, the riot. But what is a riot but an unrevered insurrection? The steps back we voluntarily take to course correct and begin to go in the right direction. A lesson in all the ways that are rightfully wrong just to get attention. Because we've run out of dams, cares, and fucks to give. And we'll gladly take a step back if that means we'll find the route that leads us to live. A path that promises more than slaveholding ancestors ever did. Beyond the call for reparations. That's now become a presidential play and patronization. We have no more use for 40 acres and a mule. But we can always be repaid with equal schools, not the discarded leftovers left over after white flight, but the ones where academics matter more than sports. The books are current, the arts are valued, and the ugly stains of my black history won't suffer an erasure to protect white tears and feeling like our pain doesn't matter. In this school, where we educate the next generation, they will learn the difference between critical thinking and indoctrination, so that whenever they are faced with an equation or question, like what is the difference between a riot and a revolution, they will learn to stand flat-footed and firm in their answer and say, what is a riot or revolution but a response to a raised black fist in the air? The silent yet demonstrative protest that makes those wonder if they should second guess the evolution of the sit-in, the maturation of the march, and the increased sophistication of the protest picket sign. Our revolutions were spawned from riots that left an indelible mark, a lasting impression, and a permanent tattoo that says we will no longer accept hostile transgressions, overt racism, or workplace microaggressions. We have come to claim all of our unalienable rights. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, even if that means we have to fight because too many are sacrificing for the greater good only to never get it. Images of their bloated bodies flash on TV screens without care for their humanity. Or if they do make it, then upon arrival, they're ushered through immigration and housed in cages. Yet none of us are supposed to think that these high-security brick-and-mortar facilities are the new plantation. We are no longer accepting the convincings of alternative facts. We don't buy into social media propaganda disguised as marketing e-blast. We are not here for fixed elections or hanging chads. We are here to go toe to toe, blow for blow, round for round, swing for swing, and we won't back down because come hell or high water, riot or revolution, call it whatever you want, but make sure there is no confusion. We are here, despite of what you seem to believe is our perceived disadvantaged lack. Our very survival is a revolutionary act.